Leishu, Dukte, Chief Bill, Dahantyu. Hello, my name is Chief Bill. I am of the Dahantyu, the Eyak people of Alaska. A little story my son told me. He said, "Dad, do you know there's kings that go up that river?" And I said, "No, it's just humpies and reds." And he says, "No, there's kings." And I said, "No, I don't think so." So the next thing I see him, he's 4.5 feet tall. He's dragging this fish down the road. And he said, "Is this a king?" And I said, "Well, yes, it is." He says, "I just took it out of the river, it spawned." He said, "The kings go up the river." And I said, "Well, I have learned something from you," because I didn't realize that we had some wild kings that actually spawned in Robe Lake. When I first got here, they were landing float planes on the lake, and they still had the river going in and out of it. And we used to travel up from the culvert by canoe to get into the lake. And ever since I've been here, I've been watching since the feed has gone out of it. The weeds have grown so thick that the planes can't even land there.
I'm John Boone. I'm one of the council members here. This is my 30th year here, and so you guys are concentrating on Robe River. I've seen this before. They had some kind of, I don't know what kind of machine or boat, but it had like an auger on it for pulling up all those lily pads to clear a spot for the salmon to be able to travel through. Like now it's like traveling through probably a sponge, you know, so the grown salmon, they barely get through, but there's still a pretty good run in there in Robe River. So in my mind, because when you got that machine in there and that big auger, it's giving it a haircut.
My name is Mike Wells. I'm the Executive Director of the Valdez Fisheries Development Association. We've been in partnership with the City of Valdez, working with Robe Lake since about the early 1980s, 1982 or 3. We have gone out and harvested those weeds to try to keep the spawning channels for the salmon that are there in check and to reduce the amount of weeds that grow each summer. And the problem is that in the fall, when the growing season is over, that vegetation dies, and then it affects the dissolved oxygen content in the water. Because there's a lack of oxygen, because of the decaying weeds, the salmon aren't able to really utilize the entirety of the lake.
My name is Bernice Krinke. I'm an elder for the Valdez Native Tribe. Robe Lake wasn't really used for recreational purposes. It was pretty overgrown with water, plants. Vegetation needs to be cleared off of the banks. I knew some people that went down the river in their kayaks and they ran into some bears and didn't even see them there until they were right on top of them. There used to be a little dock, and you know, I'm sure that before it got overgrown, kids used to go in there and, you know, watering hole kind of thing. You know, summertime swim hole. And then it just got so overgrown and so neglected that, you know, nobody ever went out there anymore. With a drone, you get this wide angle. Just for miles you can see, instead of just that one area. Like right now, I see you. But now if it was a drone, I would see this whole entire room. So yeah, the drone I'm so glad they invented them. I really am.
My name is Scott Benda. I'm a senior project manager with the City of Valdez. I've worked full-time for the city since 1999, and before that when I was going to college, I worked summers. So in the 50s, the glacier stream entered into Corbin Creek, which is way up there in the upper corner. They were worried about flooding on the highway, so then they went ahead to stop that. They built a dike. But the problem is they cut off all the glacier fed water coming in here, which was highly oxygenated. So everybody was happy, like, hey, clear water, warm, you know? But then the weeds started growing, and then it started tangling propellers. And I think it was back in 15 when I went out with one of the guys here at work, and we had a drone, like the only drone in the city. I was like, that was really, that was one of the neatest days at work. I was like, blew me away, because you're sitting there watching on a screen, you're flying over what you can see around you. So that I was like, well, this is super cool. I want to do this. It's really enlightening to get a bird's eye view of something, because we're so used to seeing everything at ground level, and actually I think with the human mind, we're so used to seeing everything at ground level. It can be confusing seeing something from above. So a drone with photogrammetry, you can actually build 3D models off the ground just from photos. And it blew me away. I'm like, what?
I'm Hope Roberts, Yupikson. I am the Secretary of the Valdez Native Tribes Board of Directors. I am Tlingit, Gwich'in, and Koyukon Athabaskan from the interior. One of the things that I can say about the importance of children knowing about Robe Lake is its history, culturally, from the first people who lived here before it was Valdez, when it used to be Sugt'stun. I would like to see actual numbers of things such as marine mammals, getting accurate numbers and accurate data through a camera like a drone would be so helpful. As a small business owner, I can think of so many ways to start a business just with a drone. Teaching it to younger kids and teaching them that drones is like the future, just like we used to say the internet was the future and things like that. Drones are going to be useful in so many ways that I can't even think of, because kids are so brilliant these days that they'll come up with so many reasons, and no idea is a bad idea.
Working with drones is fun. It's kind of like when you're a kid and you had a remote control car, you know, back in the day when I was a kid. You just zip them around and you do cool stuff. But now the drones, you can view the live video where they are. So they're just a lot of fun. It's kind of like playing a video game, but it's real. The challenges with working in drones, at least the drones that we're using in Alaska so far, are, it's weather dependent, like everything in Alaska is, right? So if the wind is blowing, more than 20 miles an hour, it's pretty difficult to fly these little quadcopters.
Using drones to survey the lake would be the best, to be able to see where the weeds need to be gone, or where the lake needs to be cleaned out. Drones gives you a bird's eye view, can give you an up-to-date, up-to-the-minute change of the deal. So, and the other thing that I just found out about the drones, I always thought that, they're lost because they can't find their way home, but I guess there's a home button that you can bring the drones right back. That's what Mike told me about his. Just hit the home button, it come right back to you. So
we got a farm out here, an oyster farm, and we've been kind of doing the surveillance through drones. So that's been a real big, innovative thing, I think it is. It's learning how to use what we have, putting our eyeballs out there where we can keep an eye on things better.
It's exciting to see the changes, and how drones are being applied, to the jobs, to our work. We can actually get up above the trees and look down on the different channels. And then we'll be able to observe how the fish do. I think that's going to be an important tool of drones, will be to utilize them to count the numbers of fish and the areas that they're spawning in the different tributaries. Not only what is happening in the lake, but hopefully what improvements this project will have made. Drones are so unique in the fact that they can be flown at very low levels, or they can be flown at very high levels, and you can really control the speed, so when you see something of interest, you can really slow down and really observe that. And so I think that's one of the advantages of the drone.